Hey guys, so today we're doing an anti-haul, whatever you want to call it, wherever you are, whatever floats your boat. Instagram, Twitter, follow me in there, it's a fun time. Also, main channel, in description, and anything else that you might want to find. So today we're doing, like I said, an anti-haul, where I'm talking about products that I don't want to buy, because there is a lot of those. So let's get into it. I'm now going to learn to, okay, hold on, give me guys a minute. Okay. Well, hello Mike. That was fun. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll scooch over a little bit here, because last time you guys told me that I wasn't keeping on the pictures of the products long enough, but that's because I sat in the center, and if I kept the products up, it would basically be a voiceover. All of the pictures I'm essentially getting from Trendmood, which is an Instagram account on Instagram. It's an Instagram account on Instagram. She basically shows new releases of makeup. So basically all of these are from Trendmood. The first thing that I am anti-hauling is the Most Concealer from Kimchi. This shade range baffles me because it makes no sense. There are weird undertones. There are literally 4 deep shades and the rest are light to maybe medium. But there are basically 4 deep shades and they seem like contour shades for the white people because they're all basically cool toned. Why are they all cool toned? Because black people have different undertones as well. And these undertones for the white ones are also so strange. But it does say conceal, cover, correct, and contour. It's weird. La Mer is coming out with an SPF 30 for £75. It's basically kind of like a CC cream kind of a thing because it's a skin tint basically in 7 shades, which is not much, for 75. I don't know who in their right mind is spending £75 on a skin tint with SPF in it. Charlotte Tilbury's coming out with new bronzers. I'm so tempted because if this is the same formula as the airbrush powder, then wow, because I love that powder so much. It is incredible. It works so well. But then again, I just have a lot of bronzers that I really like and I have a lot of bronzers that I'm getting through and it's so hard to hit pan on a bronzer, so I just don't think I need it and I'm not gonna buy it. Also, I'm more into like a satiny / dewy kind of a bronzer rather than full matte, and this is full matte, I believe. That's that. But on the topic of bronzers and Charlotte Tilbury, Revolution is coming out with bronzers that look exactly the same basically as the packaging of the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer and powder. So they are 12 each. There are 6 shades and some of them are very deep. Like the deepest one is super deep. It's a drugstore brand as well, so the fact that they go so deep is insane to me. They're doing more than like high-end and mid-tier brands. Like I'm not a huge fan of Makeup Revolution because I think their whole ideology is basically copying packaging from a different brand, and that's exactly what they did with this one. It basically just looks like the Charlotte Tilbury, except it's done better. I don't know formula-wise how these will perform, but shade-wise, this is another one. So NARS is coming out with, it's a new edition. It's an Orgasm Quad. It's limited edition. It's 3 shimmer shades, 1 matte shade, and it's $52. $52 for an old idea. The orgasm thing has been happening since I literally discovered makeup. So like why? Why is that happening still? And it's $52 for 3 shimmer shades and 1 matte shade. I could never do that. Then we have this new summer collection by Paul and Joe, sparkling eye colors. I don't understand them. I don't get it because look, if you're swirling them all together, these are all gonna end up looking practically the same because they all have some form of brown in it. Like it's either that the center is brown or the outside rim is brown outside the cat. So like the green, orange, yellow, and pink are going to end up all looking basically the same if you swirl them together. And there is no way for you to swirl just in the brown and then just in the outer rim because like you'd have to find the smallest, teeniest brush to get outside. The only one that's going to look different is the blue one, but then it's going to end up looking green because it's yellow. I don't understand these at all. I don't get it. I think it looks cute, but I don't get it. It's supposed to be a sparkling sheen for the eye. So not only, okay, this is not going to be like a full opacity, which makes this even worse because if you have like a very sheeny sheer color, then if they're super close together, they're all gonna look the same. The next one is by Garlon. It's the Meteorites Highlighter Palette. It's a 3-in-1 palette with 3 illuminating pressed powders in pink, gold, and amber, and it's $65. There is no way that I'm paying $65 for a highlight. I already have so many highlights that work super well and they're a lot cheaper than this. I've never tried anything from Garlon either because it just screams, yeah, like it's expensive for no reason to me. I don't know why. I think it could be good. It just screams expensive for no reason to me. So Wet n Wild is coming out with the Photo Focus Dewy Foundation. It's available in 20 cruelty-free, gluten-free, talc-free, and vegan shades. but the shades are abysmal. The first slide is all light shades, right? Like they all are shades that I could technically get away with. Like you add a little bit of highlight, you bronze it up a little bit and you look fine. And on the other hand is just medium shades that all look the same. And then it's always the same thing of slapping on 3 dark shades. There is no gradient. If you look at the 4th shade from the bottom, and the 3rd shade from the bottom, there's no gradient there. There should be like 2 extra shades in between that, at least. I don't know why brands have this like formula of having light to medium shades and then having 3 deep shades at the end and think that makes them a diverse color range. There should be way more shades. I think if they had 25 shades instead of 20, this would have looked so much better. But instead, you look like a fool having a light to medium range and then slapping on 3 dark shades as if that makes any difference whatsoever at this point. So Tarte came out with this, the Man-Eater collection, and I am so underwhelmed. The palette has a blush shade, a highlighter shade, and then like eyeshadows to match the blush and the highlighter. It's so boring and it looks like children makeup. It basically looks like the Nikki Tutorials collection with Too Faced, which was a flop because of what they did to her. This looks so I haven't seen something so boring and childlike. This looks like, right, you could slap Claire's on it and it would fit just fine. Look at the swatches. Look at the swatches. Charlotte Tilbury actually is coming out with a new eyeshadow palette to do with the bronzes. I'm guessing it's all coming out as like a similar collection for $53. Like I said, I'm not buying the NARS because it's overpriced. It's also not cruelty free. And the Charlotte Tilbury, I'm not paying $53 for a quad. And apparently the Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows are actually kind of lackluster. So the bronzes are $55 each, by the way. I just figured it out. So $55 for a bronzer. Then Hood is coming out with a double-ended mascara, but this looks like a plasticky wand, and I hate plasticky wands. There is nothing about plasticky wands that attracts my attention except for the Glossier one. Otherwise, I want fibers, I want full, I want voluminous, and this is not what I want. I also don't like the way it looks on the eyelashes in the picture, so it's just not something that I want, and I will skip on it. e.l.f.'s coming out with CBD-based collection, like a skincare collection, and I'm kind of done with the CBD stuff. Like, has it been proven to do anything for the skin, or is it just a gimmick? I want to see someone review this stuff before I would like delve into it. Incredible Cosmetics is coming out with a hydrating boob and bum sheet mask duo for $15. This is a gimmick if I've ever seen one. As if you can't just put lotion like you would on the rest of your body. I'm so confused about this. It apparently visibly uplifts your behind and it gives you firm skin. Haus Labs is coming out with an eyeshadow palette. It's pink and blue. I don't use blue eyeshadow, so this is not screaming out my name. I think people have been super underwhelmed by Haus Labs. I think if you love blue eyeshadow, sure, you can really, pull this off. As much as I have blue eyes and I probably should be using blue eyeshadow, I never reach out to blue eyeshadow and it's never like called out my name, so I'm passing on this. Obviously recently Jeffree Star Cosmetics has come out with the Cremated Palette. One, I don't like the theme of it. Obviously it's a little strange, but I'm not like offended by it. I already spoke about this on my main channel. I'm not offended by it, but I know some people are. But I'm not buying it because the bottom row is all the same shades, so you're basically wasting a whole row of shades. Some of the grays look very similar. Even Nikki Tutorials reviewed this palette and said you could definitely cut some shades out. I already said this on my main channel. I would either do it as the top left 9 or top right 9, or I would maybe do left 12 or right 12. I wouldn't do it as a whole palette because I just think it's a waste of money. But I still don't support Jeffree Star or Jeffree Star Cosmetics, so I'm not buying it. Next. I'm also not buying the glosses because I don't want to have grey lips. That's not my vibe, it's not my aesthetic, but if it's your aesthetic, that's fine. Too Faced, they're adding 2 new things to Tutti Frutti family. There is an eyeshadow palette for $34 and it looks crap. It's so uninspired. The thing is, I love pinky shades. You guys know that. I love pinky shades. And I think some brands can make neutrals so fun and like new, and they can just do something new with it. Like for example, the pink Divine Rose palette from Pat McGrath. But this, I'm like, why? Recently, I'm not sure how to pronounce this makeup brand, so I'll put it on the screen. But they came out with the Brazilian Carnival palette for $50 and it has a lot of shades. 99? Yeah, 99 shades. I don't understand why you would ever need that many shades in one palette. How are you going to store this anywhere? I think it's crazy that they were able to make 99 shades for $50. I think it's a great price tag, but you don't need all those shades. And also the fact that they're all colourful shades, but then the background of the palette is also super colourful. It makes my eyes hurt, and I don't know what shades I'm looking at right now. I don't know what shade is which. There are some like pinks and greens in one corner, and then blues in other corners, and then pinks in other corners. Why not put all the pinks together, all the yellows together, all the blues together? Just like split it up so it's more appealing to the eye so that I know what I'm looking at. Iconic London is also coming out with bronzers, and I've never seen a shade range of bronzers this depressing. Two of them look identical at the bottom. Well, they're like maybe half a shade apart. Why? And then the one top right is slightly darker, and then top left is slightly darker. But then they had the audacity to call them light, medium, warm, and deep. Since when is the one on top left deep? I could use that bronzer and it wouldn't look bad on me. If you have the audacity to name something deep and yet it works on one of the palest people I've seen, me, we have a problem, don't we? And they're $35. How dare you? They're vegan and cruelty free. Wow. Cool. Great. Morphe is revealing a new palette for Pride 2020, and it's just all glitters. It looks like all glitters. I don't know when I would ever use this. Obviously it's for Pride 2020, so people feel inclined to buy it because they want to support Pride. If you want to support Pride, there are many LGBTQ charities that you can just donate to instead of buying subpar products. But this palette just sucks. I don't want it. I don't want it. And they also made a setting spray like the Continuous Mist. The bottle's white and the writing is in rainbow. Naked is coming out with the Ultraviolet palette. It's the Naked Ultraviolet palette, and it's strange because it's called Ultraviolet. There's only like 5, maybe 4 purple eyeshadows in there. It's also not something that I'm like, oh, I need this. Like, I need this right now. The packaging I like more than what's inside the packaging, and that's not what I want with makeup. I definitely care about what's inside more than what's on the outside. Kimchi's also coming out with the Most Concealer correctors, which look fine. They seem to be more inclusive than the actual concealers. I don't use color correctors, so these just don't scream out my name at all. But if you're looking for correctors, then maybe these are good for you. I don't know, I haven't tried the formula before, but I don't use color correctors, and I think they are, a lot of the time, if you have like not many like huge skin issues, then they are just redundant and you don't really need them. I think I've seen like MUAs talk about it before, where they're like, people abuse color correctors, when then most of the time the people that are actually using color correctors don't need them, and then they end up actually having to do more covering up, because now not only are they covering up the blemish, they're also covering up the color corrector that is supposed to be correcting the blemish. Glam Glow is coming out with like a Barbie collection, which is supposed to be like basically 2 masks. And I've never had anything from Glam Glow, and I don't know if I trust it. To me, Glam Glow screams like overpriced, unnecessary skincare. I don't know if it's like worth the price tag, and it all just seems a little gimmicky to me a lot of the time, and I just never have found anything from Glam Glow that I'd be interested in buying that I wouldn't get better from some other brand. And that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, anything comment down below, and subscribe to post videos anytime I think of something to do. So if you enjoyed these kind of videos, subscribe, hit that bell, you'll be notified when that's happening. Social media links and main channel in description, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.